I've spent the past 6 months pushing the ASUS ProArt PX13 to its limits, editing 4K video on the go, sketching designs directly on its 3K OLED display, and putting it through real-world workflow tests that matter most to myself and creative professionals. This is a compact powerhouse with pen compatibility, a color-accurate OLED display, and capable RTX 4050 and 4060 GPUs. But is it perfect? In today's long-term review, I'll share the key features that drew me to this PX13, the pain points that still bug me, and how it stacks up after half a year of use. Out of all the devices in the ProArt lineup, the PX13 is definitely my favorite for its mobility, flexibility, and performance, travel-friendly form factor, and as a content creator, I need a machine that can keep up with my video editing workloads on battery power. I want them to be able to handle 4K and 6K footage seamlessly and offer pen compatibility. Now here's the TLDR after 6 months of using the PX13. The pros: 3K OLED color accurate pen compatible display. On battery performance, the laptop doesn't drastically degrade in speed, maintaining workable export times for 4K and 6K edits, even unplugged from the charger, and the playback is solid. Versatile playback. It handles a range of codecs: 4K, 6K BRAW, 6K red footage, 8.264, H.265, with minimal drop frames, especially on the RTX 4060. Decent battery life. Not MacBook level, but for a laptop with a dedicated GPU, it's solid. Powerful for its small form factor. The jump from an Ultrabook CPU to the AMD AI9 HX370 transforms this 13-inch form factor into a real on-the-go workstation. Now the cons: the fans do get loud, even in quiet mode. While plugged into the charger, noise can easily hit 55 plus decibels for video editing export. No RTX 4070 option in US markets. They only have the RTX 4050 and 4060. To me, that's a bit of a disappointment for the US buyers. 60 Hz refresh rate, a missed opportunity for 120 Hz, especially since this is a 3K panel, and I know that option would be available. A micro SD card reader instead of a full size. And of course, the ASUS dial is cramped onto the trackpad. Don't love that. The PX13 weighs just 3.06 pounds, and with the charger, 4.27 pounds. It's about 0.66 inches thick, and the chassis has a mix of really good sturdy aluminum and plastic materials. Overall, it emits a very professional vibe. It's not flashy, and it suits me just fine. Now, portability versus durability. After 6 months, the exterior has held up without even any really minor scuffs or scratches. I've noticed no wear on this device. Now, there is a little bit of press, a tiny bit on the top cover, but really the area that kind of concerns me most is the area between the trackpad and the keyboard. If I push hard enough, I can activate the click between the keyboard and the trackpad. So for me, that's not something I love about the device. When you're looking at the P16, this is not an issue. You do not activate the click by pushing between the keyboard and trackpad, but the PX13, I have found that. USB Type-A port, USB Type-C ports, HDMI, and a micro SD card reader, as well as a headphone jack. Does the ASUS ProArt PX13 come with the perfect amount of ports? I find it decent for a 13-inch laptop, though I do miss the full-size SD card reader. Using a micro SD card adapter or an external card reader can be a hassle if you're a photographer or videographer juggling many, standard SD cards. So for me, this was a bit of a down. But overall, it has good port connectivity. Now let's talk about the 3K OLED display. At 2880 by 1800 resolution, 13.3-inch screen, text and images are extremely crisp. Colors really jump off the screen, covering 100% sRGB, 96% Adobe RGB, and 99% DCI-P3 with a delta E of 0.91. This panel has plenty of color accuracy and will be great for professional color grading, Photoshop, digital art. It's really, really suitable. Now, pen compatibility. The screen supports an active stylus, making it great for quick sketches, retouching in Photoshop, or even just taking handwritten notes. Now, what's even greater about this laptop is the 2-in-1 compatibility. So you can go ahead and use it on tent mode to do your drawings. You can go ahead and switch over to drawing tablet mode. It's very flexible. And the screen on normal laptop mode has a pretty stiff hinge. You can see if I push pretty hard on it, it drops it down. But if you're using a nice normal light amount of touch that you would use to draw, you don't have to support it with your hand, therefore allowing you to access your shortcuts or the ASUS dial if you so choose for a nicer workflow. Now the pen compatibility and sensitivity are really nice, really natural entry and exit points. It really shows that it has a natural appearance when you're drawing, say, inside of Photoshop. Now the downside of this panel is the 60 Hz refresh rate. Now many creators and gamers were hoping for a 120 Hz panel, especially since this is the 3K resolution version. I understand the 4K would be insanely expensive and nobody's really done it yet. Now this is one of the criticisms that I have and many others have for this laptop. If it were a 120 Hz panel, this would be like the most amazing panel that exists for creators. But for me, the color accuracy, OLED contrast matter more than a high refresh rate. Now it's really tomato what you want most out of your laptop. Now one of my biggest annoyances with the OLED panel, of course, is how glossy it is. It literally turns this thing into like a mirror. So what I did for the P16, and I'd recommend for this as well, is put a matte screen protector on the device. That really helps with eliminating that glare in multiple environments and actually creates a nice paper-like feel for the device when using the pen. It did not impact my color accuracy, even though it's an extra layer. I noticed very, very few shift in color tones and even the slightest of reduction in clarity, but it was not enough to bother me. So for the trade-off, I really liked having less glare, and it really improved my overall experience with the P16, and I would definitely consider adding it to the PX13. Just wanted to throw that in there. Now, under the hood of this device is the AMD Ryzen AI9 HX370. You got 12 cores, 24 threads, and integrated Radeon 890M GPU. Now this integrated graphics alone can handle basic tasks or even some serious creative work, but you're gonna lean in much more to the RTX 4050 or 4060 GPU. Now both have 6 gigs of VRAM, maxing out at 95 watts of total graphics power. I tested the RTX 4060 variant, but also I tested the RTX 4050. I'll use 3D modeling and video editing benchmarks to show you the difference in the performance. For 3D modeling, Autodesk 3ds Max, 207 out of the RTX 4050 and 227 out of the RTX 4060. For Autodesk Maya, RTX 4050 a 261, RTX 4060 a 293. Premiere Pro 4K export. The RTX 4050, 4 minutes and 6 seconds. The RTX 4060, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. 6K export, 9-minute clip. The RTX 4050, 22 minutes and 35 seconds. The RTX 4060, 18 minutes and 42 seconds. So expect about a 10 to 15% jump in performance going from the 4050 to the 4060. Another hallmark of the PX13 is its ability to handle various codecs, frame rates, and resolutions smoothly during playback and even on battery power. It helps that the GPU and CPU combo can handle hardware decoding of the most popular codecs. I filmed an entire live stream working with a bunch of different resolutions and codecs. I highly recommend checking out that video if you're somebody who's going to be using this laptop for video editing. But I'll give you a little preview here. Premiere Pro Playback, RTX 4050, 4K, full quality, 0 drop frames. 6K BRAW, full quality, 108 drop frames in the stress test. 6K red footage, full quality, 1,842 drop frames. Now this is all on full quality, plugged into the charger. But if you drop down to a fourth or half quality, you can edit off the charger smooth, no problem. Okay, RTX 4060, 4K, 4 quality, 0 drop frames. 6K BRAW, full quality, 8 drop frames. 6K red footage, full quality, 1,033 drop frames. Like I said, you want more codecs, H.264, H.265, all of that, go to that live stream that I did. Now the PX13 does run loud even when plugged into power on quiet mode. I was taken aback at first. It's pretty loud. Over 55 decibels of fan noise for the 4K export. Very noticeable. But on battery mode, unplugged from the charger, the fans are a bit calmer, 44 to 48 decibels. Now the thermals for the 4K export, 75 degrees Celsius on the CPU under heavy load, which is acceptable for a nice slim laptop of this nature. The chassis does get warm near the hinge, but not super hot, so it's not anything that's unbearable or uncomfortable. Now you might hear talk about the ASUS G14 as a competitor, or just another option. It's another ultra portable laptop with a great CPU and GPU combo, but here's where the PX13 edges out the G14. The G14 does not offer pen compatibility. The nice slim professional branding. The G14 is much more flashy, much more gamer. The ASUS dial, though it does have its drawbacks, and I find that a physical dial does work a bit better, it still has its practicalities and usefulness, and you're not going to have that with the G14. Now, the drawback of the PX13 versus the G14, of course, is the 60 Hz panel on the PX13 and the higher refresh rate on the G14. However, I filmed an entire video between the G14 and the PX13, so if you're seriously considering the differences, definitely go check out that full video. I'll link it up in the YouTube playlist at the end of this one. The ASUS dial integrated into the ProArt PX13 is definitely a hallmark of the ProArt series. But I must say, on the 13-inch model, it feels a bit cramped. I have a dedicated live stream talking about the ASUS dial design, and my opinion remains that it's cramped on the trackpad and can be a little tricky to use consistently. The physical dial in the older models seemed more practical near the keyboard, more tactile. And also I found that there's pretty limited use cases. You can build out some custom functions, but overall, you're basically able to scrub through your timeline for Premiere Pro, change brush sizes, opacity, hardness, etc. And so for me, the dial is more interesting and unique as it is actually practical in everyday use for a bunch of different apps. I think it will be most practical for people inside of Premiere Pro and Photoshop. Because for me, being able to adjust those brush sizes and opacities and hardnesses very quickly would be a time saver. But it's really the big use case, for my opinion, for the dial. The PX13 packs a 73 watt-hour battery. In Passmark Productivity Benchmark, basically you're doing like Zoom calls, browsing the web, writing emails, we saw 11 hours of battery life below half brightness. Streaming video playback, about 9 hours and 46 minutes. Photoshop, 5 hours and 42 minutes. Premiere Pro playback, taking a project and playing it back on loop till the battery goes dead, 4 hours and 17 minutes. Premiere Pro editing, playback, and export, 2 hours and 21 minutes. So I'm basically editing, going through the timeline, but then I export, and that takes a little bit more use and power out of the machine. So effectively, you can basically get an all-day use case for doing productivity. But if you're going to be using this for some heavy Photoshop or video editing work or 3D modeling, I definitely recommend bringing the charger. Now, who is this for? If you need absolutely silent operation or high refresh rate display, the PX13 might not be for you. The fans do ramp up significantly under load, and the 60 Hz refresh rate can feel limiting if you're used to 120 Hz. However, after 6 months, I can confidently say that the ASUS ProArt PX13 is one of the best 13-inch creator laptops that I have ever used, offering true workstation power in a compact body. The 3K OLED display is beautiful, color accurate, and pen compatibility is on point. The AMD Ryzen AI9 HX370 plus either an RTX 4050 or 4060 ensures you can edit up to 6K footage on the go with solid battery life for moderate tasks. If you're curious about the exact pricing and availability, head down in the description below, click those links. Do make a purchase, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. Otherwise, if you want more videos to help you with your buying decision, click or tap the screen here, and I'll see you in the next video.